That's per our code. So if you don't have a seat, you can't sit down. We've had to ask you to step out. So I apologize. Okay. So I'll give you a few minutes. If I want to go ahead and announce it now, I'll give you a few minutes to figure out who's going to speak on behalf of opposing or for or whatever, and then we'll kind of go from there. Okay.
Can they get copies of the paperwork out there?
Excuse me?
She ain't got no more? Anybody else need more?
We fixed to start. Hey, did we get any as far as the food truck thing that we got in place right now? Do we get any do we know of anywhere else that does something like this that has something similar?
What do you mean in the area?
Yeah, like
in bigger metropolitan areas, yes. It's called food truck rodeos.
sort of all. What's their guidelines? I wonder.
Well, that's what Lowell. That's what Lowell. That's what Lowell based these orders off of. Is what he did his research on.
I got you. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let me get my gears in order, guys. Hold on. Start with P&Z. All right, guys, I'm going to call this meeting to order. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, if you would have a seat. All right, roll call, Ms. Connie.
This is for the planning and zoning meeting. Chair Frazier.
Hold on a second. Mr. Jackson, could you ask them to keep it down, or we'd like to close that door? Okay, go ahead this time. I'm sorry.
Chairman Frazier.
Here.
Board Member King.
Here.
Board Member Florence.
Here.
Board Member Fleming.
Here.
Board Member Coon.
Here.
Town Attorney Mr. Lander. Town Clerk here.
Any item number 1, addition, deletions, changes, and approval of agenda. So we have any changes? No. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
I'm making a motion to approve the planning and zoning.
Second.
Good. All in favor of approving minutes from November 20th, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
No, that was the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was on the. I got these. You went too far. All right. Huh? Oh, addition. I'm sorry. My bad. Back up. Retract that. Item number 1, addition, deletion, changes. See anybody? So we all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. All right. Good. I'm sorry. I'm looking at number 2. All right. Number 2, approval of minutes from November 20th, 2020. I guess that was from our planning and zoning meeting.
Yes.
Okay. So I just need to approve the minutes from November 20, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from November 2023.
Good. All in favor of approving minutes from November 20th, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right. At this time, guys, this is where we're going to open up public participation. And we ask it stays to the agenda items, please. I think most people are here for the agenda items anyway. So at this time, if you would, do we have any cards? Do we have any card?
No.
The speaker, whoever the speaker is, whoever wants to start, it doesn't matter. Want to approve it or disapprove it, whatever. If you want to start, you're more than welcome to step to the podium and state your name, if you would, please. So at this time, we're open for public participation. Either side.
Does anybody want a card?
Okay.
Do I have to step inside to be able to talk? Or am I not allowed in?
Ma'am, that's the fire.
That wasn't the question.
Yeah, I'll come out. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, swap up. You're fine. Go ahead.
Dorothy Cole, taxpayer. We need businesses other than Family Dollar, Dollar General in here. Who was around during the hurricane? Who was offering a place to charge their phones? This is pretty much is what I'm saying. Every single person in here is a taxpayer, I'm guessing. Point being, we need more new blood in here, not corporate America. All right? That's all, pretty much all I have to say. But this whole thing, we also need, number two, speaking of that, I was told I couldn't come in because I'm on the other side of Centerville. Whatever that means. I still pay property taxes. And I don't even have kids, and I'm funding the school. Come on now. We all deserve a right to vote. It's the American way. And we need to fund and help our mom and pops in this area. Start local, grow local, become bigger and stronger together. And also, apparently, we need a very firm, in writing, on the record, who lives in Fort White proper and who only has an address and pays taxes.
Who told you that?
Out here that we were told,
Who?
Yeah,
Somebody on the board?
That didn't come from this office.
Okay, well then I don't know where you got it.
There's all kinds of people in here that live in the county that don't live inside of Fort White here right now. So
I live on Centerville, I don't know if that matters, but all I know is my mail says Fort White.
Yeah, you're more
my
than
tax
welcome.
bill says Fort White. Like
You're
I
always
said,
welcome here to voice your
so
opinion.
that's my opinion, is to help one another out. Help the mom and pops. We need a thriving community. And Family Dollar and Dollar General supports how much of us? Anybody here support it other than people who work there for minimum wage? That's what I have to say, that's it. I'll walk back outside.
Thank you. Are we confused about what this means?
I don't know. I'm confused too.
I think some of them confused.
Guys, what the madam that just come in? She acted like she was really upset. We're really confused. What is if?
I think it's the paperwork that was on the website.
Okay, can you stand up and state your name, sir, to the podium, please, sir? And please explain the paperwork, because I want to know what. Yeah.
James LaCourt, living in Fort White. I think it's the paperwork. It was taken off the website, but there was paperwork on there that listed a whole bunch of restrictions. I don't know if it was for food trucks or specifically for the collective. So I think a lot of people are confused with what is the issue with the collective, what are the rules, and are they complying to it, that sort of thing. And so I think there's just confusion because the paperwork disappeared off the website. It was like a 15-page rules about you can only have 2 picnic tables, and it was written back in 2020, 2018, something like that. So I think part of the confusion is something wrong with the collective? We see the little yellow poster out there. What are you guys considering? And then what was that paperwork that was on the website that was taken down? Just so we're clear with, is there an issue? And then what is the application for? What are you guys approving?
That's it.
Do you want to explain?
Well, we're in public participation, so really it's his 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So really, so yeah.
So that's why I'm here. I think there's just confusion on what the issue is, and then also that paperwork. Does the food truck rules apply to the collective since it's a business at a location versus on the side of a road like over the Cuban food truck or the other food truck?
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Anybody else? Let's speak. Okay. At this time, we'll go ahead and close public participation. We'll go ahead. Does somebody
Can
want?
you explain to people what's going on?
Not during public participation, no ma'am.
We're fixing to do
But
that.
then
We're fixing
after
to-
you speak, we're not allowed to speak,
We're
correct?
fixing to do that, and we've got to get through the planning and zoning, and then we'll move to the regular meeting.
And after you speak, somebody can speak if there's a problem?
We'll see. Okay.
Uh-huh.
See. Did you have something you would like to say
No, I
before?
want to know exactly what's going on. I think, like you said, people are confused.
That's what's happening. That's what we're fixing to do. That's what we're
But
trying
then
to.
what you're saying is
Yeah,
after you
well-
clear it up, you won't let people speak.
This is the way we hold every meeting. So if you want to speak, get up and speak. I mean, this is the time for the public to speak, right now.
No speak? You good? Okay. All right, public participation is closed. We will actually move to new item, consideration of special use permit SUP 23-01. So we need to click on that. Ms. Connie?
Whenever there is a commercial business within 100 feet of a residential area, a special use permit is required to be obtained. The collective has been there for quite some time, and the town has been working with them over several months to have these permits come before the planning and zoning to be heard. No one is attempting to shut them down. I don't know where that rumor got started. I don't know why it got started, but it did not come from this office. We have worked diligently over the past year with the collective. We have waved and looked the other way on numerous occasions, trying to get them to this point, to submit the paperwork and to apply for the proper permits. So we are here tonight to do that. So, there's, like I said, that the special use permit is a requirement from the Land Development Code that requires a special use within 100 feet of a residential residence. And there are residents on two sides of the collective. That's why this is necessary. It provides for this, but it also says that this special use permit is contingent on the site plan being approved. The site plan itself is contingent upon the special use permit being approved. So therefore, they go hand in hand. The reason for that is because if you don't have an approval for a site plan, you really don't need a special use approval, and vice versa. So the site plan is attached to this and will be the next item. The thing that you saw on the webpage were the rules for the food trucks, and that there are some conditions in here that are going to be required. And a food truck the collective is not just a food truck, okay? A food truck is an entity that goes and sets up on a piece of property that's owned by themselves or by someone else on a temporary basis. It can be a permanent basis if the individual owns the property, such as Ms. Pat, such as, I understand the collective now owns their own food truck, so it can remain there on a permanent basis. All the other food trucks, according to the food truck ordinance that was passed back in 2020, I believe, states that they can only remain in one place for 7 days. That is the reason, because they are supposed to be temporary. They are here to provide a service on a temporary basis. The reason they're not allowed permanently is because it's not fair to the restaurant owners in town that go and spend the money to buy property, to improve their businesses, to have meet all the requirements of the health department, et cetera, et cetera. So they invest a lot of money in those restaurants. That's why food trucks are limited to 7 days in one particular location. They're not designed to be a permanent restaurant. It's designed to provide temporary food service. Okay? So, along with this, you'll find the conditions for the site plan. These were conditions were drawn up by our town planner, and were based on research that's been done throughout the state, as well as what our ordinances say and our land development code. Now, the only items that, and this is up to the town council to decide if they want to approve it like it is, or if they want to make adjustments to the food truck ordinance, because even though the collective is not a food truck per se, the food truck ordinance applies to them because they do have a food truck within their boundaries, and they do allow other food trucks to come in there. Okay? So, number 6 on the page 3 of the food truck ordinance says no music is to be played within 500 feet of a residential neighborhood. Number 7 says if outdoor dining is allowed, it will cease after dark. Those are the 2 items that I saw in the food truck ordinance that I am recommending that the town council take a look at and consider if they want to leave it the same or if they want to adjust that. And therefore, because the food truck ordinance is referenced in the final order, I've made a recommendation to the town council that if they want to amend the food truck ordinance, that would have to be done first before this could be finalized. And that's where we're at. Do you have any questions about any of the other requirements that were on the development order? I can go down them if you want me to go over them.
Let's go ahead and get it over with, I reckon.
The recommendation was based on the size of the property, that they be limited to 4 trucks or units at any one time. They follow the provisions within ordinance 2021-221, which I said it's 2020, but it's 2021, which is a food truck ordinance. I apologize. Access to the site is limited to the current curb cut. No further access will be permitted. The town is currently studying an on-street parking regulation for town streets. On-street parking may temporarily be limited to the first block of Bryan Avenue. South of US 27, the owners will be required to adhere to the regulations when adopted. We have discussed off-street parking before and the liability that the town assumes by allowing that, and our attorney is working on coming up with an agreement for that. Commercial dumpsters shall be required for all solid waste and removal and shall be located on a concrete pad surrounded by a 6-foot opaque fence. The site will be maintained in a manner to keep the site free of debris, the grass mowed not to exceed 3 inches in height and in good condition. The food trucks that they allow in there shall be required to purchase a town business tax license. And this license is to ensure that food trucks have a state of Florida license to operate, and in all cases, the property shall be responsible for ensuring that all food trucks are in compliance with the town regulations. All special events shall require a temporary use permit from the town. Special events shall be limited to once a month. Here again, that is the discretion of the town council. This is just a suggestion. Special events shall be any activity which is in addition to the single operation of the food truck. Special events shall include, but not be limited to, any music provided, either live or recorded, the use of the property for any other events other than food truck operation, events which are ancillary or in addition to the provisions of food by the food trucks on site. All noise shall be within the operating limits of the town's regulations. Noise will be measured at the owner's property line. Opaque buffering to 6 feet will be provided along 3 interior sides of the owner's property. This buffer shall be added to the existing fence with mature, quick-growing native hedge, which will opaquely enclose the operation within 1 year planning. All lighting provided shall be directed to the interior of the site in a manner that does not allow light pollution to infringe on the adjacent residential areas. As stated, the town is reviewing its regulations for on-street parking. The owner shall abide by any on-street security lighting requirements as provided in the new regulations. All signage will require a separate sign permit to be issued by the town.
Question about the music, have we had any complaints?
Yes.
But,
When they've had music, it depends on how late it's gone on. But in the food truck ordinance, it said that it has to cease at 10 p.m.
How many complaints have caused that?
We haven't tracked them per number, but there have been quite a few on nights when there have been music.
I have a question back there.
What?
Yes.
You provided the agenda here, but no one, does anybody have any of that with them in this agenda?
It's on the website.
It's on the website.
Had what? What's the rules?
Didn't it show me?
All of it's on the
Didn't it show
website.
me with them?
Didn't we, yeah, no, we met with your partner, I believe, right? Yes. So did you provide him with?
Yes.
So he knows?
No, I know, and I also know that.
Okay, I'm just making sure you should know, because like I said, I know me and Connie met several times with your
I
partner.
know that you guys mentioned that you guys are going to work with us on certain things, and I find it funny that no one here has a copy of any of that here, but the agenda's provided, but no supplemental paperwork.
If you go to your website, sir, you'll
I
find
have
it.
it. I find it.
Okay, well, anybody go to the website, they can
Anybody
find
could
it.
go to the website and get
I'm
it.
asking why no one here has it.
All right,
Because we
Well,
put
they
it on the
go to the website.
so we
website.
put it on the website.
So when you ask for public participation, they were going to go based off what?
No.
Guys, we don't mean that, listen, we're taking your question right now, that's all we're taking, okay, so continue.
That was the question. If we had that, we were going to discuss that, why is that not mentioned on here? How you've done at every other meeting, you provide all the paperwork with the supplemental data to go along with it. This was provided at every desk.
No, we don't.
I've come to every other meeting.
So I've never seen you before.
Okay.
Have y'all seen this guy like that?
I've seen him once.
I've never seen you before.
We provide an agenda at the meetings, and all the supporting documentation for the agenda is posted on the website. If we had to copy all of this, that's all we'd be doing all day is copy. Not only that, it's expensive. That's why it gets posted on the website. It's not a good use of taxpayer money to make all these gazillion copies and have them thrown in the trash a half an hour later. So that's why it's on the website. Yes.
So this is what I was talking about, this is what, last week I saw, or 2 weeks ago I saw it on there, last week it wasn't on there. And then
The agenda packet.
Yeah, the details wasn't on there last week. So,
Like the
it's
link
on
was
there now.
broken.
So it was like taken down.
The link was
We had to make an amendment to it. We had to make an adjustment to it. That's why it was taken down, but then it was put right back up.
Mr. Lincoln, is there, you know anywhere that does something like
When was
this?
it changed?
Where?
What do you mean? Yeah, every municipality does this, but no, you don't.
No, I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about the food truck side.
Oh, the food trucks. No, not personally.
Right.
Oh, I mean, this is, but I'm saying what we're doing here is pretty normal. I mean, you gotta go through a site plan and go through the things to make it fit in with our ordinances, and it sounds like the ordinance was done back in 2021 doesn't necessarily fit what's being proposed now. It sounds like that staff, and of course you got Lowell Garrett, who's the one who did this, and associated with Connie, and those. It sounds like they tried to make accommodations to make it work, so,
The things that you really need to decide are how many special or temporary uses do you want to allow per month besides having food truck service. They've asked for karaoke nights, movie nights, I don't know what all, but those kinds of things are recommended to be approved on a temporary use permit. That way we know what's being held and we can, control it.
So this is more than just setting up 9 to 5 business for food and
Yes.
et cetera. Everything there is fine.
That's what you have to decide tonight. You have to decide, do you want to allow music within less than 500 feet of a neighborhood? Do you want to allow outdoor dining after dark? And do you want to allow other uses more than once a month? And the temporary uses that are allowable, I included in your packets, and they is why the reason for the permit is required. It's no cost. All they do is fill out a temporary use permit and bring it into the town, and we ensure that it's within keeping of the land development code.
So what's the problem? What's y'all's problem? Y'all got a problem?
Are you referring to us?
Yes. Because
asking that.
what is y'all's concern?
Our concerns are that currently it asks for just one special event. Put aside our karaoke events. I just want to point out also that the events we have are not I know we're a business, but we are not making money on this karaoke stuff. We put it on for the community. We enjoy seeing the residents of the community come out and enjoy the time with their families. Oftentimes they don't even eat. We put on a free Thanksgiving meal. We did a Christmas event. All of these events technically would go against the one event per month rule. And so we are asking for more than one per month.
So what she just said was that's a special use permit. All you do is come in, apply, and then it's done.
But the condition as it is worded currently limits us to one per month. And we are asking for at least 4 in the month, so that gives us time, space to play with either music or a community event. The collective has evolved really quickly into something much bigger than I think just a business, and we oftentimes get asked by the PTA for fundraising or the school. We get different groups that want to do different events, and all of those would go against the one event per month. Based on our special use.
Now, y'all, before, just thinking out loud and talking if y'all don't mind, but whenever you bought this property, was you aware of these rules and regulations?
Yes, but we've been working alongside with the towns.
So why are we here then?
Well, we were confident that the town was going to work with us, and up until this point we have. And so here we are again, working together to try and figure out a path forward.
Right. I think what Councilman King's asking is why are we just now? How long have you been open?
We've been open since the end of July.
July.
23rd.
So why is the council just now? Why are we just now here now? Because this should have happened This should have happened back in July.
I agree, amen,
I
100%.
think.
See that's the
I
problem.
think the details got a little bit muddy.
No. How did it get muddy now?
We did submit this site plan early on this year. It was a different version of the
In
site.
December of last year.
He's talking now, please. Okay, let
We
him talk.
submitted the original site plan in December of last year. And we have the copies of it, we have the payment we made and everything. I thought this process should have probably happened sooner, but we're willing to be here and work through it.
It's kind of, why.
Yeah, because I left in November of last year, and I came back in May, and while I was gone, it didn't get dealt with.
So we just,
When I came back in May is when I contacted them and said, we
did they have
need
an
to get
approval
this.
to do this?
No. We've been working with them, we've been allowing them to
Where y'all have
function and have business.
Local business tax receipt signed from the county back in December of 2022.
That just says that you're a business. and
That I'm
you're-
a commercial property in a commercial zone,
Right.
and that
And you have a business license.
I didn't ask for it to be rezoned, I didn't ask for anything to be changed. So in December, that should have been the ask.
I wasn't here. I wasn't here then.
So with it, now I'm just confused. Why
A business
are they
tax.
even in business if none of this was approved?
Because we've been nice and we've been allowing them to be in business and to stay open until we could get all the paperwork and everything approved.
No, I
We
know
didn't
they've
wanna-
been in here working.
Yeah, and we didn't want to go and say, okay, you have to shut down until you get this taken care of. And we went back and forth on several occasions because they did not want to offer some of this stuff. And finally, they finally agreed and they finally turned in the paperwork and the application the way it needed to be, and so here we are.
So you came back in May, though?
May.
So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 8 months later. You've been back since May.
Yep.
So we're still... I see your question, Ms. King. So why are why?
So, with all this said and done and everything that's been transpired, y'all are basically wanting 4 special events a month outside of your day-to-day business.
But they
I guess
still-
this is extra outside of work.
But they still have to apply for a temporary use permit
Right.
for the 4, yes.
How much does that cost?
0.
And we're also asking that we be allowed to keep serving food past dusk.
Yeah.
As you know, now during the fall and winter, that means 5:30. That wouldn't. I thought that was.
Look, here's the thing, doesn't, I mean, here, I'm confused here now.
The food truck ordinance says that outdoor dining ceases at dark.
Right, I understand that.
The
yes.
reason is the security issues involved with that when you're on temporary people's property,
Right.
okay?
Right.
That's the reason for that, and that's why I'm saying, if you want to allow that after dark, then all we have to do is amend the food truck ordinance.
But then that'll go for everybody, even the people
Yes,
that are
it will.
serving
Yes,
in
it
long-term
will.
setting.
Here's the thing, but like Miss Patton, she owns her own property, correct?
Yes,
Where
she
her
does.
truck's at, so.
Yes.
Okay, so that's, okay.
Yes, that is correct. The other thing you have to consider is the noise,
The
playing
music.
music within 500 feet of a residential.
I don't have a problem.
That's-
There needs to be a
that's
time. There just needs to be a time that stops. Time of day.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be, we need to figure that
Yeah.
out.
Also, looking over the noise,
So you got noise
the
in the
county
food.
has a noise ordinance that says music should be off at 10 o'clock. The land codes don't mention anything for music.
That's why we're talking about it right now.
No, I know, but you're saying that we need to follow them, but there's not currently one in there. And that's the reason you can give me I can look it up.
Where did the 10 p.m. come from?
That's in the food truck ordinance.
And we don't mind respecting the 10 p.m. In the beginning, when we started this,
Well, as you well know, too, we've made exceptions
Yes.
in the past.
Yes.
On homecoming night,
Correct.
you had music until 1 a.m. if you had a deputy there, etc. So it's not like, and that's where all of this, I think, has gotten out of hand with us trying to shut you down. People have forgotten that we've worked with you and we have been working with you for quite some time.
and we made that very clear through our statements.
All these people don't seem to think so.
No, they sure don't.
Just throwing that out.
He did put it on the website.
I say, yeah, I say.
I read his other comment, he did.
They didn't get the memo.
Within the past,
They didn't
since we
read.
put the sign up on the property,
He did put it out there.
since we put the sign up on the property announcing the meeting and the purpose of the meeting, we have had no less than 25 emails lambasting us out. How dare you close them down, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
Nobody's shutting anybody down, guys. We want business here. We just, there's code per land use. I mean, it's, what is it?
It's not about the business, it's about the community.
It's not about business, it's about community, so.
It is about community, absolutely.
I think a little bit of it is what you had posted online, what you guys are looking over to. You saying you want us to work with us, but there seems to be a lot of restrictions. And I think that's what everyone is also seeing, that there's restrictions on there. A little unjust maybe, of a 6-foot fence closing off the visibility to our business. Certain things like that don't seem like it's very like, let's work together. It's more like, let's impair.
the hedge, it's not a fence, it's a hedge.
A hedge that's gonna cover the full visibility of the property.
And it's there for noise abatement. That's so in order to allow the music to be that close to a residential neighborhood.
So then it should
That's
only
an
be on our
intent.
property.
3 sides, it
But
says.
what about the other commercial properties? How come they don't have to do it on 3 sides?
Do they put music?
Some businesses in town
Are they playing music?
Music?
that have, well, even gas stations, people that out there blaring their radio while they're putting gas in their car.
Guys, listen, I'm not, listen, time out. Let me say this and we can go from here. I'm not to the point after seeing all this and hearing all this, I'm not to the point to make any decisions. I think we need to have a workshop on this. I do a full-on workshop and take it from there. I'm not
Well, my
in agreement,
recommendation
but-
was is that you table this tonight in order that we can do an amendment to the food truck ordinance and discuss these other 3 items, the noise, the music, the number of special events, and the dining.
Time of the food, yeah. So I definitely think they need to, I mean.
You're gonna have,
Anyway, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
I agree, we need to have
A lot of common sense,
Yeah, music and.
Listen, guys, we're gonna say it one more time. We are not trying to shut this place down. We're trying to work with them. So whoever read something wrong and then spread it on Facebook, because I've read all the comments. Okay, that's not what Fort White's trying to do. We're trying to help them stay open.
I think
But
even,
there is rules and regulations they gotta follow. Too.
guys,
Okay?
Miss Pat said in the front row here, she followed off, she had to follow, there, guys, I'm opening a business in Chiefland right now. Guess what? It ain't open. Why? Because I got to follow guidelines. I got codes I got to follow. Any town you go to, and it's not here in Fort White, that's in Chiefland, Levy County. But I've got a list of things I've got to do before I open the business. That's anywhere. And I think we've been, what's your name again, gentlemen? I'm sorry. Who? Reuben, we sit right here, me, you, and Miss Connie, and we let you know in that meeting, and I don't know where these guys didn't get the memo, that we were not trying to shut you down, that we were trying to work with you. I think it's pretty evident we're trying to work with you, because we could have come down there and stopped the whole process, because we've been working without site plan and all that right now. That's got to be done first. That's the first thing that you've got to do when you apply for something here in Fort White. Guys, I didn't even make that rule. None of this council up here made that rule. That rule was made before we were even here as councilmen.
Amen. Sure was.
So we've got to follow guidelines, guys, is all we're saying. But, ma'am, for in the back that made the comment about what are we going to do about the cars at the gas station, Blair? What would you like for me to do?
Well, I think
I mean-
that if you're going to have rules for one commercial property, it needs to be the same for all the commercial.
I can't, it is.
I don't see any 6-foot hedges on 3 sides of any other building.
They're not playing music. Now, I can't stop the cars pulling in there playing music.
So I'll just go over there and blare my car.
Well, if that's what you want to do. Ruben, this is the thing that I'm telling you. I mean, you talked about. We talked about this in the last meeting. I told you that we didn't need this kind of guys, please, hey, guys, go ahead, Ruben.
Regarding the 6-foot hedge, if we abide by the current ordinance that ends music at 10 p.m., why is the 6-foot hedge needed?
Say that again now.
If we abide by the current ordinance that asks us to shut down music at 10, why is the hedge needed? We've already purchased a decibel machine and we've been...
It's still a noise barrier, and like I said, we haven't even approved music at all yet. So that's something we still got to get through. That's why I think that a workshop is drastically needed now. After hearing all this, we need to do a workshop where we can just specifically talk about the collective and figure out what is going to be the rules that this council wants, here in the town of Fort White. I mean, that's the best way. And that's going to govern every food truck, not just the collective. We're not just talking about the collective, guys. We're talking about every food truck, okay? So we thought we had already solved all this problem, but now we're right back at it again, okay? So, and we don't really have to do that. We can say, no, we have a food truck. It's ordinance. It's in place. Follow it. And see, that's what I think Mr. King was getting at, is why we're even here. Well, I thought we already had one of those in place. Well, we do, but we're trying to adopt it. So, guys, to come in here very hostile and think we're trying to close you down and throw comments at us like, well, go govern cars at the gas station. Come on. I mean, we can't do that. Okay, that's acting crazy. So let's do Let's do the right thing. Yes, sir, I see you back there, buddy. I'm just saying, okay? Let's do the right thing. Let's do a workshop on it, and let's try to figure out what the best way to move to our goal is. Okay? That sound good? Okay. Mr. Pat, you said Pascal? Casto. Yes, sir.
I was just curious.
Guys, I'm going to have to shut the door if we can't keep it down.
The food truck ordinance with all these requirements.
Yes.
Can the council take each one of those? I mean, like the 7-day thing, for example. This guy, 7-day, I mean, that's kind of like saying within 30 days you got to move your RV. And what people don't get to do, get around that, is they just lifted their jacks and they moved it 3 feet. Okay, can the council, do they have the authority to go into this list of requirements and change them for what?
Yes, that's
what the workshop will be about.
Okay.
So we can have an open forum, everybody can talk. and figure this out.
When we did the food truck ordinance, there had never been a food truck ordinance in the town of Fort White, okay? We took a stab at it, this is what we came up with recommendations. Any ordinance can be amended, and that's what you do, is you amend your ordinances as the town needs and grows. So, and then it applies to everybody, not just to one person like Miss Pat. She, has food truck business, yes ma'am.
I've been here since 2013. So within the last 3 years, they were doing ordinances for me. I was having to do the site plan and all that stuff back in 2013.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's not
anything new. You're right. It's not.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Hold on. One by the door. I'm sorry.
So my name's Haley Handy. I don't live in the town of Fort Worth, but I just wanted to speak on behalf of some of the kids and stuff like that, just to let you guys know. I'm very aware that you guys aren't wanting to shut the collective down, so I'm not coming from that approach at that point. But I just wanted to let you guys know that what they have done for the community, and I'm sure some of your own children have been able to experience as well, between parades, things that they've been able to pass up to the kids, what was it, the first graders, I believe? They included them as a field trip. So it's been a really good thing. The basketball team just did a fundraiser for the Santa Claus, so I know that it's a really good, positive environment. I came here when I was 10 years old in '98, and my favorite part about Fort White was I can remember standing at East Square, and that was where we did our 4th of July celebrations. We had, sorry, I'm nervous when talking, can you tell? We had flatbed trailers come back there, we have bands out there. It was all about small town environment. Okay, I think that's the biggest thing of, yes, I'm sure there's been a lot of miscommunication, but that's why there's a lot of people standing outside, because I, for one, I'm 35 years old, graduated here, been here since '98. I have loved having that community pride come back in here. I graduated in 2006, and even some of the things the high schools are doing right now is not that small town environment anymore. So I just hope that when you guys are making your decisions, and I think the workshop is a really good idea, so that way everybody's on the same page and, things are going. But I just want everybody to be aware that it's been an extreme asset to this community. I don't know, I was one of the parents who picked up some of the kids from the school, the homecoming dance, and they set it up to be such a safe environment for these kids, because I'll be honest, I was one of the ones getting drunk as a teenager after prom.
Right.
Probably not the best decision I could have made. So they hired the officer, they got the special permit, from my understanding from you guys, which you all did approve. So I just hope that, as a town, everybody can work together well.
I think we've shown. I think we've shown our willingness to do that.
And I'm not saying that at all. I just think that, like you all said, according to you guys in the hearing, that there has been things that have been allowed that maybe shouldn't have been allowed because they have been working with it per your ordinances and so forth. I do feel in the future, if that's a use, and I'm sorry if this aggravates anybody for me saying that, if it's not something that's approved yet, don't let somebody, go. Because when you're allowing those things, or you're allowing somebody to continue with something until whatever, it's kind of taken by the town that it's already been approved by you guys, or it's accepted, if that makes sense. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that was my part. I know that there's been a lot of comments on the outside, but I appreciate what you guys do. I know there's rules, but we want to see them be successful. And even though I'm outside of town, I'm even willing to come to this workshop, so that way, if allowed, of course, so that way I have a better understanding, so I can help spread the word of what's going on, so there isn't the hostile environment of any kind from the outside. I'm sure Miss Connie doesn't like receiving 25 emails a day.
All right, we got to move on.
So that was it, but thank you guys.
Thank you.
Ms. Pat had to deal with ordinances, she had to deal with stuff in order to maintain her business. She complied with the town, and Ms. Pat's still in business. What I'm hearing, if y'all comply, nobody wants to shut y'all down, y'all can stay in business. You got to do what Ms. Pat did. You got to come under compliance. If they didn't do right, if the town didn't do right, because Ms. Connie left. But now Ms. Connie back. I believe if y'all get in compliance, I believe that this collective will stay open and we can move on. We're still beating a dead horse here.
Yes, sir. I totally agree. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Yes, sir.
My name is Dennis. I moved into Fort White about 2 years ago, bought a really old house in really bad shape, and now, it's called a dream house now. okay? I take a lot of pride in this, in where I'm living and my property. And all I'm asking, and I'm sure everybody can agree to this, is that if we're gonna tailor any rules or ordinances for anybody, and this is gonna now apply to anybody coming after that, that they consider people like myself, who made an investment in this town, and has, like the bank, across the street from you guys. That's right next door to me. What's to stop somebody from purchasing that property, right? Doing the same there. What does that mean? That I have to get up and move? No, of course not. But I have to deal with it. I have to swallow it. And keep that in mind when we're bending these rules, or, you know, I'm in favor for capitalism and for people to, you know, to do well and grow. But there's a reason why people come to small towns. Because they like it. Because they like it the way it is. And, you know, if you're going to allow this kind of, any kind of stuff that's going to require us to change, then we have to consider people that are already established here, and if they want that in their backyard.
And you're exactly right, sir. I appreciate that. That guys, hold on a second, man. That was my main thinking, and I know we have a lot of supporters here tonight for the collective, but my main thinking is, guys, how many people live inside the city limits? Please raise your hand. See, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that was my main thinking, is that, you know, we have to do what's right for the citizens inside. I'm not saying that, I'm not discounting what's outside the city limits. What I'm saying is that we took an oath to protect Fort White inside city limits. So, and as that gentleman said, you know, the people that do move in, if we set a precedence here with a food truck, and we allow, so when y'all, I know when we leave here tonight, y'all gonna be thinking over the week until we have our meeting, we have to come up with guidelines, guys, that, like the gentleman just said, if somebody was owning a piece of property, and somebody moved in next door, what are we gonna allow? Because it's gonna affect everybody. So it'll be a straight across the board. It's not going to be just one food truck. Any food truck that comes inside Fort White, they can do whatever we allow them to do. That's what we've got to keep in mind. Okay. So, yes, ma'am.
I just have a question. I see that you guys are asking to put the hedges to cover from the thing, but on one of your documentations, it says that you can't block the view to the street. So, are we contradicting, it's kind of like contradicting about the fence, but it says the fence can't be anywhere from 2 to 4 feet, nothing blocking the main road. They're on a main road. So if they do put that, isn't that kind of contradicting the old bylaws?
They've been given a triangular visual map that shows the amount of footage where no hedges will be planted to allow visual of 207 and visual of Bryant in order to be able to see oncoming traffic.
Okay. No,
they were given that tonight.
Last comment. Yes, ma'am.
I would please like to request, if possible, that we could meet at the community center next time so that the rest of the community can be participants. Some of us can't stand for a long time. Some of us didn't get here at 5:30 when the seats were still open. And
we'll see if we can.
That would really be excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
I do not live in the city limits. I am a homeowner in Three Rivers, and we intend to stay here until we drop dead. And this town means a lot to us. And this is why we're here.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Thank you.
I need a motion to table the items number 1 and 2.
Yeah, I need a
business
motion.
for a workshop.
We got to move. We got to move on.
I'll make a motion to table items 1 and 2 for till we have a workshop on.
Second. Good. All in favor of tabling or having a workshop on item 1 and 2, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, good deal.
Motion
Guys,
adjourned.
hey, please, we got to keep. We having a meeting. Still having a meeting, okay? All right, so yeah, so item number 5 is adjournment. Let's move into, I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Good, second, good. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. All right, let's open up the next meeting. Next meeting we're opening up, guys, will be the town council meeting. If I can find my, where is my, that's got me aggravated. Oh, here we go. All right. Let's see here. We need to do roll call now. No. Close them doors, Miss Connie, please. Probably lose my. Good. Guys, if you're going to leave, go ahead and please do it now. We're fixing to start our next meeting, okay?
That chair's too short.
Yes, ma'am.
You too, thank
My restrictions has got really different. My codes and restrictions have got really crazy. All that.
Just open that down at Three Rivers. We can't just open it at Three Rivers. They do whatever you want in the Wild West.
I'm gonna put that down.
Send that on Mr. Hunter's house.
That's what I would say.
Set up down there by you.
I have got to
Go ahead. We proceed, okay?
Diabetes works on me now.
Oh, my Lord.
Hey, whenever we do that workshop, you go on the council.
Do you have your notes that I left you?
Which one? Yes, I know I do. I don't know. It's messing me up. There it is, yeah.
Yes.
We're going to go over
Are we in the meetings center? Do you want to do that? Okay.
Not in the next meeting. We might next. Yeah. After that. I'm not even bringing that.
But I do need to bring up a couple housekeeping issues when Mr. King comes back before we get started on a regular agenda.
All right. What do you say, Mr. Hunter?
We'll get started again in just a second, guys. Hold on just a second.
I can see that. I can see
My
that.
mom, especially.
I can imagine.
I just can't imagine this like just.
All right, Mr. Coon, you ready? All right, guys, we're going back to call this meeting back to order. Ms. Connie, we already did the members, so let's go to item number 1, addition, deletion, changes, approval of agenda. Any additions or anything? I just need a motion to approve, guys.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Good. Item number 2, meeting minutes from November 20th, 2023. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from November 20th, 2023.
Good. Second. Good. All in favor of November 20th, 2023 say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, item number 3 would be public participation. That's when all the people should talk. Nobody has something to say. All right, so at this time, I'm going to open it up, guys, for public participation. If anybody's got anything to say.
I have a question. Hello.
You need to stand to the podium now.
Sure, absolutely. Do I need to be there?
Yes, at the podium. Yes, ma'am. That's what they call the podium. No, it's okay.
Okay, so I'm Maureen Thomas.
Got 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm curious, I had heard that there was something to do about the parks and updating, especially D Square, and then there was one other park, I'm not familiar with that location.
What's that, Paul?
Johnny Brown.
Johnny Brown.
Right down Wilson Springs Road, right here.
And I was just curious about what all that is. I wasn't here for anything.
Well, we have a committee that's overseeing that, so they're putting in for Mr. Jackson, you're and Miss Frazier. So the two in the back here after the meeting, if you want to get with them, they can kind of enlighten you on what they're asking for and what, you know. So I think they're waiting for grants right now to ask for what they can ask for. So yes, ma'am. So yeah, we're kind of yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, you're very welcome. Thank you for coming.
So yes,
it's coming. So we just got to wait on grants. So yes, ma'am. All right. Anybody else? Oh, I'm sorry.
I had some housekeeping issues.
So hold on. We need to see if anybody else needs to talk first, real quick. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I just have a general question.
You got to come to the top. You got to come to the podium, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Actually, I'm not coming to the podium. I'm just going to...
Okay, just got to see.
I'm going to ask a quick question. Connie's out for some reason. We have a plan in place so everything doesn't go off the rails because one person's not in our job position. That this, what has happened to the collective, might not happen again. I mean, is there a plan that she takes vacation or falls ill?
No, I can't answer that.
What are we supposed to do? That's all I got to ask.
Yes, Connie left and took a new job, and we was hiring someone else.
There was nobody that could keep everything straight. It just went off the rails because of one person. So over here.
No, what's happened was people done things that they shouldn't have done before they got approved.
Okay.
It's an approval process, and we did because we were trying to work with them to work these deals out. So I mean, did that answer that?
Disheartening, but okay.
Seems what now?
It seems a little disheartening that one person being out can cause so much animosity and confusion.
But it didn't cause animosity.
There's a lot of animosity. You see how many people are...
I can't control the public, ma'am. We have a code that you have to follow. You can follow it, or it's going to cause situations like this.
Maybe Fort White should have been a little bit more clear in what they...
How would you like for us to be more clear? It's in our land development book. Read it.
But why did we let that happen?
Why did we let what happen?
Because we didn't want to
Because we were trying not to shut the place down.
Okay, but he didn't submit a business plan?
No.
No. Wow, you sold commercial, you bought commercial properties and you knew he was going to have a business plan.
Yes, we should have read into what he was buying. You're right, yeah.
We should have knew what he was doing. Yeah.
And last question, what is re-election? That's my last question, I'll shut up. What is re-election?
It's every board member is different. You have to look it up.
I voted to change that again. But when's the next election?
They're voting to change what, the election?
Yeah, when are we going to get to re-elect you people?
Okay, anybody else like to speak, please?
Oh, nobody knows when re-election is?
Everybody's different.
Okay.
You look it up. We have a website. You can see on
You're
there.
up for re-election, Mr. Frank?
I'm actually up next year.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Good Lord.
James, before I live in Fort Wayne, I would just ask, I mean, this whole thing's a circus.
Yes, it is. A very much circus.
And I'm not pointing fingers or anything, but I think you guys had well intentions to let them run their business. And I love the collective. I think it's great. I live right down there. I have no issues with it. But I think if they were running a business or someone threw up something, some other business, I think if you guys addressed it right away, we wouldn't have this issue. Should they have kept pushing it and kept going without the license? No, that's their issue, right? But if you guys knew that was going on, it was your responsibility as stewards of the town to enforce those rules and not let it slide because you want to be nice. Because what happens if another business wants to do something and then you're applying different rules to them versus this?
Well, let me get hauled out of town is what's going to happen. Sounds like we're going to get hauled out of town because we're doing it here, not there. I mean, it's a mess. And, honestly, if they go down there and buy that bar down there, they could do any of this they wanted to.
Right.
But I don't have an issue. I'm just saying, if there was an issue and you guys enforced and said, hey, we just saw this barn go up, you guys need to stop this until...
That was approved. It had site plans for a barn.
Well, whatever the issue...
It's pushing the line. It's pushing the line. It's pushing the line. And it's not stopping. And now we're getting this ambush with all this craziness going on. So now when we draw a line in the sand, now we're going to be the bad guys because we're trying to uphold the bylaws for this town of Fort White, which I personally was born and raised in. And I love dearly, and I want to see grow in a positive manner. But when you keep doing that, we try to, and you're right, and Ronnie's right, Bill's right, we let, Miss Pat's right, we let this thing aside here for them, then somebody comes up in front of his house, that's near your house and near my house, and then what are we gonna say? Is it gonna be good then when they're blasting music till 10 p.m.?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Whenever you're sick with COVID?
That's
You know
what I'm
what I
asking
mean?
is-
This is the things we have to deal with.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking. If the rules were enforced and applied right away, we wouldn't be in this situation.
So with that said, if we done that right now and we shut them down, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, what's gonna happen? Sit down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where do you get the take? I'm spitballing. Because all I'm gonna do, I'm a business owner and I have to stand by my rules and regulations, no matter where I go. I work in Jacksonville, I gotta follow
This is a
Jacksonville.
lesson for you guys to enforce the rules right away, no matter what.
Let's make a motion.
Make them clear.
It won't happen again, how's it going?
Yeah, I guarantee it.
Don't self-promote.
This comment before a majority of us was on this board as well. So we got here to the crap show.
So what do you want to do right now?
No, I think you go to the circus, didn't you?
You want to have them shut down until the workshop?
I mean, that's what,
That's what you're saying.
No, that's not, I'm saying, if you guys would have addressed the issue.
Miss Pat, what time do you gotta shut down?
And said, hey,
What time would you shut down?
or do this, this, and this.
I got
We tried to.
I got it on 7 o'clock, you know, but I'm not doing what they're doing.
Right.
So it's different, it applies different for them.
So, and that's what I see, and Mr. King's right, he's like, we're kind of danged if you do and danged if you don't. I mean, we had a good situation we felt like we could work with. We said we knew they were doing not what they need to be doing, but we were trying to, okay, listen, get this stuff in, do what you're supposed to do. We were trying to work with them. But, like he said, if we'd have done it then or we'd done it now, does it matter? Everybody would have been mad. So it really doesn't matter. So that's what I'm saying. We need to make a vote and shut it down now?
I don't think you should shut them down. You stepped in mud, okay?
Right.
And you let them went ahead and done it. Okay, so they got business and they're doing well. Why would you want to go in there and just shut a person down?
We don't.
We don't.
Because you know you let fell down. You know, so I say let them go ahead and do it, but you let them go ahead and get those.
And that's exactly what we're trying to do, yes, ma'am. Most definitely.
You know that old saying, no good deed goes unpunished? Here we are.
It sounds like everybody still doesn't understand that we're not trying to shut them down. And we're gonna have a workshop on it, but they're still making up comments like we're trying to shut them down.
Yeah, that's what they don't understand.
My comment wasn't about that. My comment enforce the rules up front.
Don't worry, we'll happen again.
One on the bridge.
All right, go ahead and close public participation this time. We're going to open up new business. I believe yes, number one. Good.
Well,
yes, you want to talk about
address a couple of
Yes, ma'am.
issues with the town council before we get started. The first one I wanted to address, would you please shut the door?
Y'all can come in.
Y'all can come in. There's more seats if you want to come in.
There's chairs.
Yeah, there's more seats if you want to come in.
Let's go.
There's one right up front here.
A couple of months ago, we hired a guy by the name of Doug Sanders to apply for a CRA application and a historic, get our train depot on the National Historical Register, et cetera, et cetera. Mr. Saunders has experienced some very severe health issues, and he was touch and go for a while, and he is now in rehab and will be in rehab for a couple of months. And so the CRA project is on hold until he can get back to work again. So I just wanted to bring that up.
That was a farm.
It is, but he's the specialist on CRA within that firm.
Oh, no, we're doing that.
So, He's in rehab and is getting better day by day. So.
Good, well, that's great.
Okay. The other thing is that the January meeting falls on Martin Luther King Day, and the office here is closed that day. So I'm requesting you to just let me know if you still want to have the meeting in that evening, or if you want to move it to Wednesday.
You okay Wednesday?
Yes, Mr. Lander is available on Wednesday.
Move it to Wednesday, that's fine.
Okay.
What day, when is that?
That'll be Wednesday, the 17th of it.
Okay, that's fine, yeah, let's do that. That'll work.
Okay. And you had a couple of...
Oh, I did. Guys, last year, we, our workers, they work really well for us. There's Buster and, Earl and Gerald. I know Gerald's is the guy. He works hard. I see him on the roadside all the time, picking up stuff and doing whatever. So last year we gave out a small bonus for them. So I would like to do the same thing, with y'all's approval, give out a small bonus for them. To I think, what did we give out last year in this county? Was it per person?
Yes.
So yeah, I would say do maybe.
Yeah. That's go up.
Maybe they go up if they do.
Well, I mean, Buster's been here the longest, so I'd give Buster, maybe do 150 and 100.
Yeah, I mean, y'all figure that out, can't you? Tony, the number set up.
I mean, we need to all kind of agree on it, but I mean, so I'd just say give Buster. We gave out 100 last year. Let's. If y'all okay with it, Earl's been here 2 years now, 3 years? 3. So.
And Gerald's been here less than a year.
Double what you did last year.
So we did 100, and let's give Buster 100. Are y'all okay with doing Buster 150?
More than the rest.
Hey, he's been here. Buster's been here, what?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. How long? Yeah, Buster's been here for a while.
$300.
Listen to Miss Pat. $300. I say let's go 200 for Buster and 100. Are y'all okay with that? 200, 100, 100. Okay. Yeah. Go 200, 100, 100. Okay, you're good.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's move to item number 1.
First on the agenda is the approval of an agreement with Neighbors Giblin and Nickerson to provide special counsel services relating to the implementation of ad valorem taxes. Mr. Lander, as you well know, we have been working on this, and he has contacted them to assist with this implementation, and they sent us an agreement to engage their services, and I just need you to approve that.
They're the ones that do the assessment every year for the garbage. And it's the same thing. These assessments, they have all kind of timelines, and it's a specialty. So I talked with them about it. Since we're doing it for the first time ever, I asked them if they would assist me with it in the upcoming year, and they said they would.
Cool.
So I would recommend it.
Good.
Your first time around.
Yeah, we'll get it done. They've done it in the past, so good. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve Neighbors of Gibbons to provide special counsel services relating to the ad valorem taxes.
Second.
Good. All in favor of approving the agreement with Neighbors of Gibbons, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, good. Number 2, Ms. Conner.
Item number 2 is approval of Resolution R2023-049, adopting the statewide mutual aid agreement with the Office of the State of Florida Emergency Management. This simply just says that we can apply for aid to the State Emergency Management Fund during times of natural declared disasters.
Do we have to do this yearly? Is it yearly? I thought we did this last year.
No, this came from the Emergency Management Director for the county, Shane Morgan.
Okay,
and
good.
he needs this to go with theirs.
Most definitely. Okay, good. Have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution R2023-049 for the statewide mutual aid agreement with the State of Florida Emergency Management.
Second.
Good. All in favor of approving resolution R 2023-049, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. All right, item number 5. Need a motion to adjourn.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What about the, we going to set a date for the,
Let's get through the holidays, we come back, we'll figure out a date we can, Miss Connie, we'll get together, and we'll have you reach out and call and see if we can get together, maybe between now and
Just set a
January.
workshop?
I'm gonna be gone for probably the first. For the workshop. Figure out a date. First 2 weeks, I'm gonna be gone, so, January. So, and then maybe I'll try.
I say can we throw that on a meeting night?
Do it on when?
You can have it prior to the meeting.
Or do a meeting, 5 o'clock, instead of with the holidays and all, I mean, you just do a 5 p.m. I don't know.
From the 18th, what was it, 18th?
Well, we're gonna have to make it, we're going to come prepared and get it over with in an hour and move right on to the regular meeting, so it can't go over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sounds good. We can't go through this in a...
That's what I'm saying. So just come up prepared and be ready to just, hey, make motions.
I mean, I was just throwing that out there with the holidays and all.
So, I mean, it's...
maybe we can do it about 4:30 and give us an hour and a half?
Yes, sir.
I got a question. My name is George Thomas. I live here in the city limits. I think based on the participation that I saw and how much engagement we're probably having at that meeting, I think it makes sense to recommend a separate date for at least, definitely more than an hour.
Well, y'all do understand that we want this to happen. We just gotta find common ground, so everybody needs to know
No, I'm not checking you. I just
let's spread the word in our great small town community that we all want this to happen, so we don't need to bombard and,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Well, I'm with you. But I do think just...
I agree.
So everyone feels better about it, everyone can air it out. I don't think an hour will really do it justice. You can do it the same day, but I think it's just at least more than an hour.
All right, we can set it up later then.
Yeah, I'll just Miss Connie have you call tomorrow. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I'll have Miss Connie call everybody and just figure out guys. Okay. Like I said, I just don't know when I'm going to be gone the first of the year. How long? So I don't know when I can kind of fit it in. So, all right, good. Make a motion to adjourn. Good. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Good.
Listen, you getting fat, but you ain't getting fat on Miss Pat Amber.